Hi traders, I wanted to run through a new product release which is called Platinum 16, which is the new JFX upgraded version of the existing Platinum Trendline trading system. And this has been rewritten in JavaFX and has some quite interesting enhanced functionality. So let's just give you a quick demo. This is really intended for existing Platinum customers who'd be interested in potentially beta testing Platinum 16. For people who do, we may well upgrade you free of charge. There will be a small upgrade fee for existing Platinum customers, but if you join the beta test program, we will probably waive that, depending on how active you are in the program. So, as you're no doubt aware, you can obviously draw trend lines on charts, and with the old Platinum system, you had to scan the chart for the trend line to be added to a drop-down list, and then you'd select that, which could be a little bit confusing. So in this new version, what we've done is, if you just simply click on a trend line, it will go bold, and that means that it's been synchronized with the interface, which is here. The interface is obviously resizable and scalable, and it's just one single interface window, so we don't have multiple windows popping up and save buttons and all that kind of stuff. So if I wanted to make this trend line a buy break, so for example, let's just move it, draw it correctly through these swing high points, and if we're thinking that maybe this price action may break through this trend line, we can say buy, and we can choose the trading behavior as a buy break, either touch, close, or perhaps close and define range. So I'm going to give that close and define range. And you can see here the system has basically created a channel, which is our CIDR channel, which we can adjust using this CIDR range spinner control here. And we can adjust the channel from 30 pips beyond the trend line to 63 pips, which is the case now. I'm going to make the channel bigger, so I'm just adjusting up to 30 to 80 pips. So if price action breaks through this trend line and closes inside this trigger channel, then we'll get a long trade being executed. In the same way, if I change this trading behavior to sell touch, you can see here, if we zoom in a little bit, we've got another trigger zone underneath the trend line. So if price action goes inside this trigger zone between the dotted line and the trend line, that's where our trade will execute. So the Platinum 16 system is showing us where the actual trigger zones are. And obviously you can adjust these. So if you adjust sensitivity, you can see when we get a tick, this trigger zone will come away a bit. So, and I can also force the trade. So you can see if I just keep moving the sensitivity barrier further out, and then as soon as it crosses price action, bang, we've got a short trade being executed there because it's a sell touch trade scenario. Okay, and then obviously we've also got now the physical stops and take profit levels, and obviously the order number in brackets. That's the ticket number for the order, which correlates exactly with the number you see in the trade terminal window. Okay, so that's one example. Let's just close that and we'll just do something else. I'm going to go to Sterling cable 15-minute chart. I'm just going to load the EA Platinum 16 onto this chart, and I'll show you some more interesting controls with regard to the grid, which is your trigger grid, which you use when you're setting up the system. So I'm not going to get too phased about where I draw this trend line. Let's just say we're looking for a break of this uptrend here, and so I'm just going to click the trend line a couple of times until it gets made bold. So now we see the trend line ideas being rippled into the interface here. And let's say I want to make this a sell trade, and we're looking for basically a break close, and we want to create several exits. So we'll have the first exit at 50%, another one 25% later, and then a third one 25% after that. And I now can change the pip levels either in the interface here, so I might want my first exit at say 25 pips, another one at 50 pips, and another one at 75 pips. and now you can see those levels being very quickly rippled through. Another thing to bear in mind, if we want to change the levels graphically on the chart, I can just move this stop level down. You can see the stop level has been basically adjusted dynamically, exactly in the same way as if I move the TP3 level. You can see that that just got bumped up to 88 pips. So much more kind of configurable than the old Platinum system, which involved having to open up an interface window, make a change, close the window, and then press save. You can just make these changes really quickly using Platinum 16. So you can just see here I'm just mucking around, moving these levels around, and you know, when the tick comes in, basically those are confirmed. Exactly the same way I can change my grid controls, so color wise and all that kind of styling stuff. You can just very quickly make changes which ripple through really quickly on the interface. So I'm just changing these grid lines to dashed, and also increase the line lengths and the colors as well. In the same way, obviously, you know, you're talking about you can configure multiple trend lines on the chart. So in this case, if I just click on this trend line here, as soon as it goes bold, it's synchronized, so 43773, exactly right. And I can then set up another trading grid on this system. So in order to make things simple, I'll just go back to my old trend line, turn the actual grid off, go to this new trend line, wait for it to be bolded, and again we're looking here at whatever we want to do. We can configure very easily, either graphically or in the actual interface itself. So quite powerful. This is just an upgraded version of the old system. There's quite a few little bells and whistles in here, just to do with really getting everything underneath one roof, into one place. So we've got obviously our filter controls in here and our trigger zones, depending on the type of trade behavior that you select. So if you do close and define range, you'll get your CIDR range coming up there. If you say it's a break close X candles, you're going to get the X candle spinner coming up, and in the same way with the retrace commands as well, retrace controls. So if anyone's interested in trying this out on a demo account, please, because this is still in beta, please get in touch, info@fxalgotrader.com. Thanks for watching.